Now, we are loaded into the game. So let's introduce these two players. In the top left position, currently teamless, we have the pink Zerg player from the UK. He is Scottish. It is JonnyREcco. And his opponent spawning in the bottom right, the Frenchman. He has been casting a lot of the WCS EU Premier Division with Colaris. It is ToD, the blue Protoss. Oh, ToD. ToD, if you saw the stream chat right now, you would not have typed that. You would not have typed that, ToD. No, ToD. Oh dear. Okay, I'm sorry, mods, for showing that on stream. And JonnyREcco, they're both just pretty amazement of that first game. It was... I've got to say, though, while there were faults in both of their plays, it was an incredibly entertaining game to watch and cast. Let's face it, there was so much action going on. We were never bored.
No, there was constantly action. There was multi-prong harassments. It wasn't the highest level of game, but definitely was action-packed and fun.
I mean, I think if we look back to... Imagine a 40-minute game in Wings of Liberty. That would have been someone pushed early on, then they both would have turtled till Broodlord Infestor, looked at each other for 20 minutes, and then there would have been one fight where either the Vortexes hit well off the mothership and won the game for the Protoss, or they wouldn't have done, and the Broodlord Infestor force would have just steamrolled. That's what the end of Wings of Liberty was like. So coming in to Heart of the Swarm and getting all this action is just so much fun. And yeah, as we can see, currently ToD going for exactly the same build we saw on Whirlwind. Pylon in his main, Nexus first.
Yeah, we saw ToD do this build last game. I kind of like Forge in the main base against early pulls. Like when you go for the Nexus first, or into the Forge on the low ground, or any form of fast expand with the Forge on the low ground, you can still put the Pylon on your main base and cannon off if the early pull comes, but with the Forge in the main base, you can still cannon your main base as well as save the Forge. It just makes your transition a little bit safer, a little bit easier. You don't have to risk losing that Forge. So the one drawback is you're missing one building on your wall off. So if there's any form of speedling bust or anything like that, it can be a little harder to get the wall off up in time. But overall, I like this type of opener.
I think this type of opener is really good as well. So I don't think we've got any problems here. JonnyREcco, he's getting down his Zerglings. He's got his natural on its way. Did go spawning pool first this game, which is different to the hatch first he went in game one. The key reason for that is it's a two-player map, and therefore he wants to be a little bit safer. He knows that his opponent will know where he is, and it's always at the potential of getting cannon rushed or some kind of aggression coming in. So that's quite nice. Now, as we can see, we've just got the Zerglings chasing down the probe because Rico wants to get his third up at around the 4-minute mark, knowing that his opponent has gone for that Nexus first build. He needs to just stay ahead economically, stay a base up. Not much going to be happening here until, of course, we see ToD decide what form of tech he's going to go after his Cybercore, which, as yet, isn't started.
Yeah, this is just normal play so far. I like this opener. Really quick third hatch as well from JonnyREcco. This is pretty normal play for this map. Fast third base is really important on this map as a Zerg player. It's really difficult to get that fourth base up, so the faster you have that third base, the faster you can apply aggression and try and shut down your opponent. I think this was the map we saw that weird ZVZ that JonnyREcco played on. No, wait, that was a different matchup. No, that was versus Tefl. All the games are starting to blur together, guys. I'm sorry.
It does get to that point after you've cast so many games in a day where everything just starts merging into like, well, we saw a Zerg do something. Which Zerg was it? And of course, this is the downside of only having 3 races, is that you end up getting a lot of the same things. So ultimately, what we need to see is that we've got a bit more action coming in, and I've actually got a message here coming in from Tetra, who apparently has some breaking news from the bracket. So if we quickly ask him, Tetra, what is going on in the bracket then?
Yes, I have breaking news. We have our first qualified player for the Challenger League qualifier number 2, and it is Dignitas Bling.
Nice.
That is really good news for a lot of the UK scene. The first UK player to actually get through in any of the WCS events, other than Demuslim, of course, yesterday. But Demuslim has got somewhat adopted by America, so he's been out there for so long. Can we still claim fame to him? He is British from nationality.
He's American now. He's American now. Sorry, dude.
Okay.
You saw it on the MLG broadcast. He is officially an American.
He's like, we only want him back now. He's been successful, but of course, JonnyREcco and Bling already through. JonnyREcco could be the next one qualifying. We'll wait to see. But ToD at the moment is just going down for that Immortal. He's getting some sentries out, and he's got 1 gateway. What else is going to be following this up? Well, 3 more coming down, 4 gates and a Robo. Zoya, does that remind you of any common builds from Wings of Liberty we used to see?
It reminds me of, the Soul Train. Very,
Yeah.
very popular
what
build.
did we call it? Wasn't it something like an Immortal Sentry push? That seems to be what it was like, and of course it's still a very viable strategy. So will JonnyREcco identify this? In terms of what he's seen so far, is nothing. He knows that there's a wall off there and that there's a nexus down. He hasn't seen anything else big. A fifth gateway now being added in as well here. This is just going to help. 5 gateways now in production. My goodness, ToD, he is going completely all in here. And this means that JonnyREcco, he needs to pump out a lot of units if he wants to hold this off.
He actually just canceled one of the gates. Oh, because he had a probe stuck. Never mind. So he canceled one of the gates. So he might be going for an expand, but no, he should be applying a lot of aggression here. He's card boosting out the Immortals. He's got 2 out already with a 3rd one on the way. After the 3rd one, he's probably going to build either an Observer or a Warp Prism. More than likely the Warp Prism. Not too many Zerg players are getting early Burrow, so you don't really need it that badly, but we'll have to see. I mean, this is still a powerful push, like you said. The only thing that's changed that really can stop this is Hydras with speed, and even then, that's not the biggest deal. Plus, you get the Mothership Core mixed in with this push. Makes it even stronger.
Yep. I think the one thing that is worth noting is JonnyREcco is incredibly good against this Immortal Sentry push, and with an Overseer on its way through now, will he get the Scout out? What does he actually see with this in the main base? He sees that the Forge is there, sees a couple of the gateways, sees the robotics facility. He should be able to assume what's coming out. There we go. A lot of Roaches in production, a lot of Zerglings on their way out. Even Spine Crawlers getting thrown down. He knows that he has got to hold this off. This could be a very, very quick game, Zoya.
Yeah, it's going to be close. The Warp Prism's following up here. +1 attack will be done for the push. A lot of Roaches and Lings are being built by JonnyREcco. He only has a few Spine Crawlers in position. He's going to try his hardest to hold this off. It's still going to be a tough hold, though. I mean, we've all seen this push. There's really nothing different between this push right now and the one from the one in Wings of Liberty, except for now ToD has a Mothership Core, which makes him even stronger. This is going to be so tough for JonnyREcco.
And ultimately, that Mothership Core also means not only does it get the push stronger, but if it doesn't go ToD's way, mass recall.
Yeah, he's got that option up. He almost has that first 100 energy. We'll have to see what he spends it on. First pylon does go down, which almost supply blocks ToD. ToD's showing a little bit of indecisiveness right now as he waits for a couple more rounds of units to warp in. Not willing to engage just yet. And the longer he waits, the more time JonnyREcco has to pump out plenty of units. He really needs to go in soon. Warp Prism leading the charge here. One Immortal being hallucinated at the front. Lings and Roaches coming forward here. Force Fields do go down, trapping some of the units. Nice flank from the backside. Going to get a couple of the sentries as well. More Roaches. Some of the Roaches actually in the back are not attacking here. Time Warp goes down on the ramp. Good pickup with this Warp Prism on one of the Immortals here. And JonnyREcco is plummeting in supply. ToD still sitting a little over 100. JonnyREcco has lost about 30 supply so far, as opposed to ToD, who's only lost about 10.
But the big problem for ToD is that, while this push doesn't work, more units come out for Rico. He's sending more units for the flank yet again. ToD has got to be so cautious here. JonnyREcco getting good engagement angles, and he's just baiting ToD to go in. He's like, come on, ToD. Come and attack me. It's not like I've got a flank set up. And all while ToD waits, more units trickle out for the Zerg. The Spine Crawlers are here, delaying even further. Are we going to see another engagement soon? Here we go. JonnyREcco pushing in. The Force Field's going down yet again. Units coming in from behind, though, as well here for Rico. He's going for the flank, but the Immortals are staying up. That is the big thing that's really helping the Protoss player here, doing tremendous damage to those Roaches. And as we can see yet again, JonnyREcco forced back. He's got more units in production. ToD is still warping in more. All 3 of those Immortals are still alive. I cannot emphasize enough just how critical those Immortals are to this push, and it's staying successful.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage, and they do the bonus damage to armor. They hit really hard on the Roaches, but I don't know, this push has just been slowly coming at JonnyREcco. I don't know. I don't know if ToD's going to be able to actually break here. I think this next push up to the natural base is his last chance. There is no flank set up right now. There is still a good amount of force field energy left, a little bit less with that Guardian Shield go down. Nice time warp to zone out a good portion of those units. Spine Caller is rerouted. And, I mean, this is going to be a tough hold from JonnyREcco. He's holding on for as long as possible. This patience is going to help him out quite a bit. The more units he can wait for while ToD just kind of fumbles around, killing creep tumors, killing spine crawlers is what he needs. And here comes a full-on surround. Link streaming in here. Force fields go down at that third base, zoning off a lot of the Roaches here, but no force fields on the left side. Drones being pulled from both ends as well. Queen's coming in. ToD at 113 supply versus the 125 of JonnyREcco. More Zealots being warped in. The Immortals are still alive and kicking. The Roaches are finally being cleaned up. JonnyREcco, for the first time in this game, is below supplied of ToD, and I think ToD has done it.
Yeah, it's looking really tough now for Rico, but those Immortals all still staying alive, and that has been the story of the game. And that just means that with those Immortals up, there's no way it can go. JonnyREcco, Grat, and we will be getting an ace game of this best of 3, and that is nothing but great news for us, all of us who do love a little bit of StarCraft action.